We are across the great state of Iowa. It's a wonderful Tuesday, everybody, and you've listened to me for a while now, at least a bunch of you have, and thank you very much for doing that. You'll never know how grateful I truly am. And then there's some new people, and new people are always very, very welcome too. I am kind of sarcastic. Yeah, I like to have some fun. I'll make fun of you if you call me. Some of you know that, and it's good. I like it. This is exactly the same thing that happens in my relationship as well with my girlfriend. We have a very strong relationship. We're doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. And apparently we're doing it right, according to researchers at Appalachian State University. Couples who, quote, roast each other daily, unquote, are more likely to have a longer and happier relationship. So who better to ask than a relationship expert? That is Christi Carter. Christi, you're very welcome to the Simon Conway Show. How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much, Simon.
You're welcome. So should I make fun of you now? Are we going to be better off if I do?
I may not be the best person to make fun of because I've got a little bit of a different take than the people who are on the different side. I'm not as pro sarcasm as others.
Okay, so why not? Can't you mix it all in? Can't we have, candlelit dinners and bouquets of flowers and nice romantic walks, and then me making fun of the way you walk? Can't we do that?
Well, we definitely like being playful. We would say playfulness really helps relationships. But unfortunately, sarcasm is not always as playful as people want it to be. We think that you need to be careful with sarcasm, and I've definitely got some thoughts on why.
Oh, tell us.
So, yeah, I'm here at an organization called Relationships First, and we want to help people how to interact with their relationships, and a lot of it is based on neuroscience and brain science. And so we've been looking into, what is going on when people interact in different ways. And one of the things that we have found is, sarcasm, even though when someone says something sarcastic, they're teasing, they're being playful, they're enjoying their relationship. But on the other end, the person receiving it, it doesn't always feel playful. Sarcasm and things like teasing usually come up when there's something negative or hostile that the person speaking is trying to say, and they're often covering it up by thinking that they're playful. But the person receiving it could receive it as a put-down.
Okay, isn't that also, maybe it's a stage of relationship. Maybe you need to be together for quite a while before you get to this point. I don't know, because, as I say, I'm in a very strong relationship. We do this all the time. It's done out of love. Everybody, the pair of us both understand that. And, pointing out each other's little quirks. It's fun.
It can be fun for some people in some conversations. But again, we need to be careful with that. So, you did hit something. You've been in a relationship for a long time. And sometimes, the more playful you can be is what that takes a lot of awareness, self-awareness, knowing the other person, knowing, what makes them feel safe or what can feel negative to them. Because what's really helpful in a relationship is when people are truly connected, and the biggest factor that influences that is feeling safe.
So, clearly you don't do this on the first date. That probably won't go well.
Right.
Probably wouldn't be a second date.
Probably not.
But once you've been at it a while and you understand where each other's coming from, and it's part of my personality to do that, and she gets it. And she knows that I never say anything mean. Never do I say anything mean. It's just fun little things. Why is that not helpful? Why is this research wrong?
Well, it's like what you said. You did hit on it. That you guys have known each other for a long time, and you kind of know. Again, it's really helpful to know what your partner considers negative. Because we have a definition for negativity is anything that your partner receives as a put down, which is different for different people. So for some people have a higher tolerance for the playful banter, and for other people it can seem like a little bit more of a put down. And so they may receive something that doesn't feel awesome, and it activates their fear, anxiety, and their defenses. And then they're going into survival instead of really feeling connected. And it is their responsibility to tell the other person, you know what, hey, that was hurtful.
Is this
right?
Is this generational? Because here's something I share with President Obama. He and I both have big ears. Me, I don't care. He, apparently, even though he was the most powerful man on the planet, was very sensitive about his ears. If you brought up his ears, it was like a real problem for him. I've never had a problem since the time I smacked the bully in the mouth when I was about 10 years old, and it stopped forevermore. I've never had a problem with it, ever. But President Obama, he had a huge problem with it. So is it individual based? Because I don't mind people making fun of my ears ever.
You know, it's not generational. That was your first question.
First question. Well, you and I are slightly different generations.
I love what you just hit on, though. You went back to childhood experiences. Mm-hmm. And the way that we interact in our adult relationships is very influenced by what happened in our childhood. And so I think that's why, you know, the playfulness, you know, it works better to get stronger when you know someone really well, because it takes years to find out what happened in someone's childhood. Where are they coming from? Why are they responding to that? So that's why you need to be really careful with something like sarcasm, because it could be hitting someone negatively and you don't even know, because you don't know where they're coming from based on what happened in their childhood.
See, I thought you were telling me if someone made fun of my ears, I should smack him in the mouth.
Wait, what? No,
just like I did when I was 9, right? That ended that.
Well, I mean, if it's not hurtful to you, then it's not hurtful to you. You know, right. We just always want to pay attention to what might be hurtful to someone else.
So often we're told that today's, you know, the millennial generation, that's the Snowflake generation. We're reliably informed. And by the way, my producer is of that generation. I do that to him all the time. So we're often told that's the Snowflake generation. You're saying, no, this stuff isn't too generational. It's just individual. So whereas President Obama, as the ear example continues, super sensitive about his ears, even when he was the most powerful man on the planet, me, I don't care.
You know, I'm going to go back to safety. And, you know, if it's not safe, it sucks. And the more that you know someone in a relationship, the more you understand, you know, when they say something to you, you know, you've let them know whether it's hurtful or not. And then if you say something to them, they let you know whether it's hurtful or not. You need to, you know, as long as we pay attention to, hey, we don't want to activate fear or anxiety. We don't want to leave, you know, unpredictability in there. We don't want to say something sarcastic. We think that it's playful, but they're taking it a different way. And so I would err on the side of not being sarcastic.
Okay. Okay. If we look at Friends, Monica and Chandler used to do this to each other all the time.
You know, there are so many times when I wish the movie Friends, the TV show Friends, was really how people interacted. But that it's a TV show. It still had a script. So as funny as it was, that's not always how in real life we respond to each other.
You know, I'm not sure it applies to today's generation, because they don't talk to each other. You go to a restaurant and you'll see a millennial or a Gen Z couple in there, and they're actually not even looking at each other. They're on their phones.
Now that's a whole different thing, right?
Yeah, it is a whole different thing. But if they don't talk to each other, they can't upset each other, right?
Well, then I definitely would not be sarcastic over digital communication, because then we're in a whole different mess.
Oh, right, yeah, because that's cold, right? Because there's no sound in your voice, there's no big smile on your face, there's just this cold, hard text that you're staring at.
Yeah, then you miss all the playfulness intended.
Yes, exactly. We are talking to Christi Carter. She is a relationship expert. You can find out more about her at relationshipsfirst.org. Relationshipsfirst.org. It's interesting to me that that's a .org. It's a .org. So, because normally those things are reserved for charitable stuff. Is this like a charitable enterprise you're involved with?
Yes, we're a nonprofit, and we are serving communities around us to help give them these relationship skills and help them to talk to each other in ways that create safety.
I'd be awful, wouldn't I? I'd be an awful person for you to talk to.
Well, we were founded by some relationship experts that they spent years in the couples world with couples counseling and couples therapy, and they looked at what people were learning and how it was working to help people talk to each other. And they thought, why is this limited to couples therapy? Let's take it out of the therapy clinic and make it available to other people. So we offer workshops and relationship education to help anybody talk in any relationship, because sometimes it's not just a romantic relationship, right? Because we interact with everyone in our lives, and we think that we need to pay attention to relationship skills across the board.
And you don't think we're softer these days? I sometimes listen to some of this stuff and I think, man, how did our parents ever survive without all these things that they had going on? We have going on nowadays. Sometimes I really do wonder. Anyway, interesting conversation. I'm going to carry on being me because I think that's the most important thing in any relationship. I think you need to be yourself. And so I'm going to carry on being me, and my relationship is nice and strong. And if that ever changes, I know where to come.
That sounds good, and we're so happy for you. Strong relationship. We're big fans, so that makes us happy.
There you go. All right. Well, Christi Carter, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and you have yourself a great rest of the day. So,
you too.
What did you make of all of that? Because I'm really going with Appalachian State University, but that's based on my own experience, obviously, and I think those guys have got it right. How about you?